Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Last Stand Gamers, and welcome to episode 14 of Space Engineers. So we're back here at the original space station, and some of you guys have been asking me, am I ever going to fix the kitchen up? If you don't know what the kitchen was, it was my first ever ship that I made, and I was so ashamed of it that I actually decided to hide it over here. It suffered a collision with an asteroid, so basically it wasn't doing too well at all. I'll just take you around it. We're going to assess it now and see what we can actually do to it. So it's called the kitchen because it has this kitchen sort of pattern on it. So it doesn't look half bad from this side. We're missing a bit of the cockpit. We'll have a look around the other side. Oh no, this is not looking good at all. That's terrible. This is going to be quite a repair job, I think. So that's our lower vehicle hangar. That was the oh my god. The damage looks pretty damn good though, to be honest. Right, why am I assessing the damage anyway? I've got another question. I've got a few things I was thinking about the other day. I was thinking, I wonder if they didn't have planets in this game, because it'd be really interesting sort of survival idea. I mean, imagine if you build up from a planet, you have to launch into atmosphere and then into orbit. It could be really cool. Oh, what's left? There's quite a few of the cargo crates left. One of the beams is down, so there's not much support on that. But yeah, I was thinking, what about if it was survival? You start on a planet, you've not even got spacesuits like the one I'm wearing, you've just got some fabric clothes on, and then it's a race to get into space, build your equipment, build your spaceships, and once you're in orbit, then you can start building and continuing and so on. Or are they just going to do it all in space, like you're mining from asteroids and so on? Because if they did it from like a planet like Earth, I mean, imagine it. You've just managed to get into space and you visit another planet, and the people there are still struggling to get into space. I put this down on my Steam group. If you guys haven't joined it, links in description. But basically, I was thinking just how amazing that would be. Like you come along, it's like, I'll come save you, and you help them back into space. Oh, this is the engine room seems to be alright, bit of a dent there. But you're like helping the people get into space, and then they end up being your enemy because you helped them get into space, and now they've taken over loads of planets and so on. But it's going to be really interesting to see how they do that. But I'm going to leave me with this for about a few hours. I'm going to see what I can do on the repair job side of it. I'm going to probably copy and paste it and move it to there and then start the work. But yeah, it's going to be quite a project for today. So let's go. I'll see you in a bit. So I'm just about to reveal what I've done. You can just faintly see it through the blinds of this actual space station over here. Basically, I've tried to solve as many different points as I've read in the description and the comments of many of my videos, and this is what I came up with. You're probably wondering, that looks nothing like the kitchen at all. What the hell is this, Aaron? How have you duped us? Well, the kitchen was not doing too well at all, to be honest. It was broken down one side. The actual alignment of it was off anyway, so it would have looked terrible. So this is what I came up with. I took this part from the kitchen, this lower hull section, and I also took this, this upper deck area, and then everything else I rechanged. So I did a 170 Starfighter a while ago, and I really liked the sort of style of it, but I wanted to see what it would look like on a bigger scale. So let's go over our armaments first anyway. So under the wings we've got 2 rocket launchers, and just above that we've got a chain or laser cannon. Oh, I do wonder though, do you reckon these will be like bullets sort of thing? I mean, obviously bullets don't work in space, but they could be chambered inside and then fired. Or do you reckon there'll be lasers? It'll be interesting to see. Anyway, moving on up. And here we go to this. So we've got some torpedoes that I've usually built. You've seen me build these in the last few episodes. Just some basic deep strike missiles. So, moving on to the drop pods. We'll actually go inside and we'll just take a slight tour. Did I rebuild the front window, or did I leave it open so I could actually get back in? No, I rebuilt it. Right, so we'll have to come in from underneath. I'll take you from back to front. So in here are our drop pods. We've got 4 in total, and each one holds between 8 and 12 people, depending on how you actually stack it with people in the seats. They've got a direct up and down function, so there's nothing too fancy about it, but it'll work, I do hope. So in the rear hangar we have an escort vehicle, and it is my special vehicle as usual. I think this is going to have to be one of my iconic Empire vehicles. So as you can see here, we've got this like red stripe just to match the ship and show it's part of that. So this can escort the drop pods when they get on the ground, give them a bit of air support and so on. So if we move up in here, we can use a ladder to access that point. we actually enter the ship itself. So there's nothing too fancy about this ship. We've just got the drop pods attached by landing gears at the top, so they only go straight up and down, so basically you get yourself above the target. I don't know how these will work against enemy ships, because obviously they'll be moving and so on, but against an enemy station I think they'd work very well, or a planet. That's what I was talking about planets for as well, because if there's planets like that, oh, it's going to be so amazing. You'll just be like, right, well guys, we've got to get this sorted and get into space before everyone else does, and then it'll just be building bigger and bigger ships and more ships and so on. And then we got some cargo area here, and we're moving into this room, and basically this room's a medical bay / armory, and the gravity generator's halfway through a wall. Don't know how that's happened. Anyway, up to the crew deck. So on here we have basically the life support and Overwatch desk, so you can Overwatch your people and like, work harder man, work harder, you're not doing well enough, the captain has a message for you, and so on. And then in here we have the main sort of area of driving. There is a hidden compartment on the ship, but if I decide to use this in multiplayer, it'd be silly me giving you away where my secret hidden compartment is, wouldn't it? Right, so let's get aboard. So this is the first flight of this thing, and it decides to save. So we're going to see actually how effective this is. Something very important though. Okay, I've got to turn off the generators in the actual drop pod, or we will have a problem. So I'll be back with you in a minute. So I feel really like I've let you down, because what happened is I alt-tabbed to actually save it and stop it, so when I destroyed my own station with the drop pods that it didn't actually do anything. And the problem is as you would expect, it started crashing, and now every time I load up that first station, there's a lot of lag, but I really hope you saw enough of that first ship. And I'm just going to take a few moments anyways, just to have a quick chat, talk about what I was talking about at the beginning, talking about how I think they're going to do multiplayer. I mean, it'd be nice to hear what you think as well. I mean, I said it in the other video that I think there's going to be two ways. It's either all going to be in space like this, it's going to be asteroids or so on, and like I said at the beginning of this video, how cool would it be if there was planets? Imagine, say we started on a planet now, we had a few tools, and we had to prepare ourselves to go into space like a space race. And then eventually we'd get up into space, we'd have to build loads of different prototype things. Like, the first problem would be dealing with gravity, and how gravity affects the ship and so on, and how much fuel would need to burn to get into an orbit. It'd just be many more things, and it'd be like combined in like some of the best space games. Like, obviously Kerbal Space Program, one of the biggest parts of it is to actually get out of Earth, or Kerbal or whatever it's called, and get into the atmosphere and so on. And then you've got other games like Minecraft where everything starts on a planet, but the problem with Minecraft is there's no real goal once you've got everything set up and you've got your survival set up. Then it's just building prettier items. But with this, if you started on a planet, you have an infinite goal to dominate the universe, because you can build your ships, you're loading your torpedoes right here, I mean, you're mining resources. I mean, just think how amazing that would be. And someone asked me this morning about blocks, and I said to them, well, I don't really know what block I would like to see added in the game. So I was thinking to myself, and then I went, oh, that's a great idea. Imagine like CCTV cameras that you could put around your ship. So give me a second, I'm just going to quickly get one of these up. I don't know if you saw my thumbnail from the other day from the torpedo target range, but imagine if you set up cameras around your ship, and then the cameras actually appeared on these little screens here, and you could actually switch between them by accessing the control panel. How cool would that be? Like, oh, I want to see the rear dock loading bay, or this smugglers trying to sneak into my ship from this place or the station. That would be really cool sort of block design, like a camera that you could control as well. Also, you could use it for TV guided missiles and loads of different prototypes like that. But I do apologise, guys, for it crashing. I'm working on trying to fix it. I know one or two ways, and both of the ones that I've tried so far haven't worked. So we'll have to see what we can do about it, because I would really like to show you that drop pod hitting the ground and it exploding. But you saw the ship move a little bit, and I think the ship's a pretty nice design, if I can ever bloody use it again. And that's 3 hours or so, but hopefully I'm going to evaluate a bit on that design, and most importantly we fixed up the kitchen. So thanks for watching, and if you get a time, feel free to go like the Steam group below, and then it'll be a chance to play with me and play with the guys, with a good group of people, when this eventually gets its multiplayer. So see you some other time.